A dog is a big responsibility, so you want to make the best decisions for her. In a previous video, I talked about why you should or shouldn't have your dog neutered or spayed, so if you haven't seen that one, go check that out first and then come back to this video. In this video, I'll talk about when the best time is to have your dog neutered. Hi, I'm veterinarian Nele and I help cat and dog owners avoid sudden sickness and high medical bills without the long waiting times and stress, and so Dr. Google doesn't give you a heart attack. If you'd like to avoid medical or behavioral problems for your furry friend, be sure to click the subscription button below and hit that bell button so you get notified every time I release a new video. Having your dog spayed or neutered is a big decision and a big responsibility. So the way I see it, it's never up to me to tell you what you have to do. It is always your decision to make, but it needs to be a well-informed one, and that's where I come in. I will break this video up into 4 parts. Part 1. A little myth. Owners often think that a dog needs to have puppies once before she can be neutered or spayed to be happy and healthy. But this is a big myth. I don't know where people get it from. They make up all kinds of reasons for this to be true, when it's definitely not so. Believe me, if your dog has not chosen to have babies, which never is the case, she really wouldn't want that. It's very hard on any female dog or human to have children mentally and physically. I still remember my 2 pregnancies and births like it was yesterday, and if you're not getting to choose this, if you're not getting to keep your babies, it is not okay. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Part 2. What age? The best age is when your dog has already fully matured genitals. So until recently, we said at the age of 6 months before the very first heat. But the most recent scientific studies show that the best time to have your dog neutered or spayed is after its first heat. So then is the time when the genitals are perfectly ripe, as we call them, fully developed, and there are less possible complications. If your dog, however, is a bigger kind of breed, then you need to wait until she is 1.5 to 2 years old. The first heat usually comes around 8 months of age, but this can be very difficult to assess because very oftenly the first heat is very unclear, and we call this a hidden heat. And the larger your dog is, the later this first heat might come. Part 3. In heat? During heat, the blood vessels around the ovaries and the uterus are much thicker and there's way more blood in them. This is why during and right after heat, it is not safe for your dog to be neutered unless it is one of the medical reasons I mentioned in the previous video. Go check that out if you haven't already. So the ideal time is at least 2 months after the first signs of heat, and we usually take this time as the visual signs of blood loss. The latest age or latest moment of neutering is always possible, but you will get the maximum benefits at a certain time, and this is also scientifically researched. The sooner you have your dog neutered, the less possibility there is for the mammary carcinomas I talked about in the last video. The percentage of prevention of these mammary carcinomas is highest if you have your dog neutered right after the first heat, but 2 months after, not earlier. And that percentage of prevention drops a little bit after the second heat and after the third heat. After that, there is really no percentage of prevention for these mammary carcinomas, but at least you will have removed the hormonal component on which these tumors thrive. So it is never too late to have your dog neutered, but if you do it at the ideal time, then you will have the most benefits from it and it will cost you much less. After you've heard all of this and you've decided what to do, or you know the date for the neutering of your dog, let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to know if any of this helped make your decision. With that, let's keep your furry friend happy and healthy together, and I will see you in the next video.